I love that you're outside. I think that that's fantastic. I've been
Well, I wanted to sit in the like in the on the ground somewhere, but it's more difficult because we have Wi-Fi just only in one spot,
Yeah,
and electricity also in one spot. So yeah.
I was thinking about you in your life. I've been thinking about you in your life since we had this conversation the other day about how you're living, and I was just sitting outside in my garden as well, and just taking everything in, and I was thinking about you, living in this space off the land and just with the land every day. You have electricity in one space, you have Wi-Fi in one space. Like, for people to hear that, it's kind of wild. And even for myself, I love it. Like, I think that that's such a place of peace to be in.
Mhm. Yeah, definitely.
It must come with its challenges, though, no?
Oh yeah, definitely. It comes with so many challenges, when it rains, you have to pack everything and hide everything, and yeah, it comes with a lot of challenges.
And
Yeah,
it's and I
but it's more like how you look at it. You can look at very fun way, or you can be very angry about it and annoyed about it. But um, yeah, it can be fun too, to be very quick, adaptable to things. It helps in life too, right? In some certain situations, when you really need to be like quick decision, quick something. And this is really teaching you that because whether it's not predictable, things are not predictable, and you're living with the nature, with this change, constant moving change. Yeah.
That's such a beautiful way to put that. Like, you're using the obstacles and challenges in your life as a teacher and teaching yourself to be more adaptable to what is out of your control. Like, good Lord, people, I hope you just heard that, because that's so beautiful, like putting yourself in a situation where you're living off the land and just learning from what's going on around you. I think people can benefit from that these days. It's really cool.
Mm.
It's really cool. Thank you for that. So to
Oh,
get to
thank
this
you.
point in the land, I mean, one must go on a journey to end up where you are. You're in Portugal right now,
Yes, I'm in Portugal right now.
and so yeah, but you're from Lithuania. So how does one get from Lithuania to Portugal living off of the land?
Well, it's been a long and crazy journey to get here, first of all, and also take these decisions to change the lifestyle completely from the way we grow up, not to follow the society norms that you have to go to school, you have to finish university, you have to have a family, and so on, so on. So yeah, I've been traveling in many different countries here in Europe. Uh, I've been living in Ireland, in UK, Denmark, and none of those countries kind of really fulfilled my soul. And I was like looking something that would fulfill my soul and that I would feel free to do what I want to do. And I always have this dream that I want to live in the nature. I want to sustain myself with the food, and I didn't know how to do that because I was really stuck in that society mentality that I have to work 9 to 5 job, in order to make money. So all these thoughts, how I'm gonna make it work, how I'm gonna make money, how I'm gonna survive, it's been really tough. But I'm grateful for the journey, for all the tough work that I did in all the factories I worked, cleaning companies, restaurants, that really opened my eyes more and more to see that I am not actually made for this. I'm made for much more than this.
Yeah.
And I can give so much to the world if I just allow myself to go, to explore, to see, Um, and then I realized that me and my partner, that we have to leave everything behind, yes, we have a good job, we have a stable income, but we want freedom, we want explore, we want to meet people, and that's what we did. We packed everything what we have, give all the things away for the people, and we just said we're leaving with these two backpacks to adventure, to unknown. We don't know what's going to happen. We don't know what we're going to do. We don't know how we're gonna earn money. We don't know anything. We have two backpacks with our essentials, the camping stuff. You know, we had computers so we can film, make videos. This is how I start my YouTube channel, uh, that we film our adventures. And that's how it evolved, you know. And now we're almost 1 year here. And wow, so many doors open, so many possibilities, opportunities, you know. It's like you say yes to life, life will gonna give you the abundance, the fruit, right?
Well,
Yeah.
you also took a chance on yourself. I mean, you guys went against everything that society told you is safe. And one of the greatest fears that humans have is the fear of the unknown, but you're embracing it and you've opened up to this aspect of the world to just flow and just allow these challenges to be the teacher and to really let go of an identity that did not serve you. And I've been talking a lot about that lately, like letting go of identities that do not serve us, because who built that identity? Like
Yeah.
society creates these individuals that we know are is not our true authentic self. Like just like you said with your, the upbringing with being in factories and doing everything that society told you, university, college, it's there was still something missing. And to take a chance to find that, that's powerful.
Mm. Yeah. It's a very challenging way to go. Like it's hard to take that decision, right? Like it's so freaking hard to be like, okay, I'm gonna do this, you know, because you have to face everything. You have to face your shadows, you have to face your friends, your parents, let go of your friends, let go of what you know before, and be open to receive new messages and new information to come in,
Yeah.
because I see that we are programmed with so many default from before, you know, and now we're trying to reprogram ourselves to the different way of thinking and being, and yeah, just living.
Yeah, living, yeah, and being that individual along a series of generations that our family has been programmed to follow, and being the individual that breaks that programming. I mean, to work on oneself, that is the true bravery, the true courage, the true success in this life is to go against the programming and the ideologies that have been fed to us and say, you know what? No, I'm going to learn what is valuable to me. I'm going to learn about
Mm,
self-worth and value so I can understand who I am, so I can choose what I want to be in this life. Because many people are doing things that do not serve their highest purpose. It does not
mm,
serve who they are, yet they continue to do it because they're too afraid to take a chance on themselves and go against what is safe in this life. But
mm,
safety is sort of debilitating in a sense because you know you can understand all of the corners of the box that you put yourself in. It's when you step outside of that box and you say, okay, I'm going to learn, what it means to fall down and get back up again, and fall down and get back up again, and fall down and get back up again. I mean, that's when the soul really starts to vibrate at such a beautiful frequency, because it attracts other individuals who are falling down and getting back up again as well. And that's not a bad thing. It's a
yeah.
beautiful thing, really.
Yeah, definitely. Like, if you never fall, how you can learn how to get up, right? That's why the babies, they always falling and then they learn how to get up. And if you're always gonna be that parent support who's gonna catch that kid, you know, so he's never fall, he will never learn how to get up and start again. And that's the attitude I think you should have in life, you know, that if something doesn't work, don't stop. Keep going.
Yeah.
There is so many people who call me that I'm a little bit crazy, that what I do is ridiculous. You're never gonna earn money by teaching yoga or doing ecstatic dance or doing cacao ceremonies. My family said to me, please stop joking. Find a normal job again, you know? Like, look how you're living. Is this life? And I'm like, this is the best life that I ever lived, actually, you know? And it took many, many years for them to understand that actually I'm really happy right now. I'm really healthy right now. And it never been before like that, you know. I've been really sick in my body. I've been really stressed. I would say all my life I lived in fight and flight mode, and I didn't know that. And now I'm unlearning how to be calm in my system, how to take calm decisions, how to react without, you know, getting offended or, yeah, just being afraid of saying your truth. And yeah, it's a long journey, you know, and I'm still learning and still going. Yeah.
Well, and I think it's super important, like for people, like a lot of people are looking how to break free from, what holds them back. And even if we want to take a chance on ourselves later in life, our parents are putting their fears within us to say, hey, like, we know what's best for you, even though you're at an age where you can make your own decisions. Well, your decisions aren't valid yet because we know what's best, we know what's safe, and
Mhm.
to anyone who's experiencing that, like Emma said, like that is a difficult point along the journey of walking your own path and speaking your truth, is that even family members go away for a little while. But that's just until they see you become the example that you say that you said that you were gonna be, you do what you
Mhm.
say and you say what you mean, and then you become that individual. And that happened in my life as well. I just stayed on my path, and my parents eventually saw, like, wow, like he really is this way. Like, he doesn't need to do things the way society has fed him to do things. Mind you, I didn't really do them that way anyways with all the drug addiction. But
Mhm.
again, that was my teacher. It was challenging me constantly, except I got caught up inside of the repeated lesson. I wasn't getting the education out of what the addiction and going against society was trying to teach me. But then, you keep on the trajectory and you keep your eyes open and your heart open, and life changes. So that's really great. I'm super proud of you for doing that, and that's what this podcast does. Is I love finding individual, or we just, the universe puts us together, and we can share stories about this, because that's the main thing I like to do, is bring individuals on here who are leading their own life, and like you said, like
Mhm.
this is your best life. This is where you've been your most happy, and your emotional body is reacting to the healthy choices, the healthy conscious choices that you've made. And, stress and anxiety is just something that society creates because it puts all this weight on us. You were
Mhm.
you were
Yeah.
saying, as a I think it's important to also share, how we arrive at these places. You had no easy journey along the way. And people that listen to podcasts, they know my story, and I share it to help other individuals. And Emma is no different. She has, she's a warrior spirit. And what I mean by warrior spirit is that is when a spirit is stronger than the body. So the body will be put through an immense amount of difficulty, and we all are warrior spirits, but some of us have tuned into the spirit that have allowed the body to walk out of the difficult experiences that it was put through, so that it can share the knowledge. And I asked Emma to be here today and talk about some of her story, to be able to share and help, and she was open to it. So I appreciate that. I really do, because your story was no easy thing.
Thank you for having me. Yeah, so yeah, we'll try to say a little bit about my story. So I grew up in a big family. We are five kids, uh, and of course two parents. And my father is alcoholic, and my mom is completely sober, which is really interesting
Yeah.
balance. That one parent is completely sober, never drink before, has this like I don't want this, this is a dark side, and another parent is completely opposite in this very um, deep darkness, with the addiction. So yeah, growing up in the big family with four more siblings, it wasn't easy, um, because you don't get the same attention that the kid needs, sometimes like you really need your mom to see you, but she's too busy with all other children, for example. Um, yeah, so that led me to be very like self-independent and making my own choices from very young age, making my own food, going to school by myself, and coming back home where the environment was really unsafe. My dad would come back home completely drunk, and he would smash all the things on the floor and scream and shout and push us. And it was really challenging to be in that environment, and you have to put the smile on the next morning, and go to school and pretend that nothing happened. And you sit in the class like everyone else, but nobody knows that you actually didn't sleep all night, that you didn't had any food last night or something like that. Um, so it's been really, really challenging childhood, to be in this kind of environment. And yeah, like you said, I actually feel that I have this warrior spirit because of that, because I found a way how to escape that and how to manage that in much better ways. When I
Yeah.
was teenager, I was also very leaning into alcohol and all the drugs and everything, because I just wanted to numb the pain. I wanted to numb everything that I seen, that I heard, that I felt. I didn't know how to express myself. I was cutting myself just to feel something, because I was like, I cannot feel anything. I feel empty. I feel I don't want to be here. So I actually reached a point that I tried to kill myself once, and the spirits didn't want me to go. So I am here, and I'm so blessed to be here right now. But I had this point that I said I don't want to be here because it's just so hard. It's just so, I don't see any joy in life.
Yeah.
Yeah, and yeah, I'm blessed that these all experience teach me so much, but it was really difficult path to take in, and now to to learn how I can manage all these things. Yeah, so I'm still like learning how to deal with it. I still have troubles with it, um, but I'm doing better each day. And yeah.
I like how you said, like, a lot of families have just that. There's multiple siblings inside, and a child's not seen and a child's not heard, and that, trauma is comes with many ideas. We have physical and sexual abuse, which, yeah, definitely are traumatic, but trauma is whatever's traumatic to the human, and not being seen and not being heard and having an immense amount of weight put on you at a very young age leaves you with dense emotions in your body. And I mean, as a 4-year old, how are you really left to process these kind of things? And I think that many people can associate with not being seen and not being heard. And they carry that weight throughout their journey into their adult years or their teenage years. And they are looking for that escape from those emotions. And we reach for substances to try and mask these things that we don't understand, because the tools in education to talk about these kind of feelings is, that's why I'm grateful Emma's here and she talked about some of this, is because opening up about these kind of things is how you can go in and heal. When we talk about
Mm.
a healing process, it's just this. Emma had to do this with herself first to make peace with it, but to be able to gain perspective into her journey, she opens up about it as well. And I think that that's Very beautiful that you've done that, and powerful that you've done that. And I want other people to hear that and say, you're your only boundary. Holding you into
Yeah.
this place of fear is that you can set yourself free by just opening up about things that are difficult to talk about. And it's hard to talk about uncomfortable feelings. Like it is until it isn't, because you just
Mhm.
practice it so much and you say, you know what, this isn't for me to carry. I was four. I was put in a situation that was extremely difficult where one individual was self-sabotaging and the other individual was distracting from the entire scene. I was going to ask you, like, where was your mother in all this? Was she just was like, she was avoiding, right?
Well, she was always there. Like she's a really great mother, and that's where I got the all the spirituality from her, which is really beautiful. But yeah, she never had this like emotional support. Um, she, of course, she would say she will try to calm you down and be supportive, and of course, she will protect us from our father. But I never felt that she has this emotional support, which was so needed in times when I need a parent, like I can give you example that, for example, when you go to school and you have a meetings for parents to come, and my mom, she would say like, I don't really care what they say. I'm not gonna go there. But for me, it's just so important that she's there.
Yeah.
Or for example, I was going to musical school and I was having a lot of concerts, and every single kid would have their parents sitting out there, and I would look around, there is no one. And it was just like so hard for me to see that I don't have no support, um, and that led me to feel that I am not good enough. Maybe I'm not good enough, so that's why they are not there. And I pushed myself to the limits with everything. I was in sports the best. Whatever I did in my life, I was always in the first place, always the best grades, but it didn't fulfill me because I still was not seen.
Yeah.
Um, and that lead me to multiple diseases. Like I had so many problems, and I still have like my gut is like completely destroyed from all the stress. And just like 2 years ago, I started to understand that everything is connected through emotions, and your emotions is in your gut. And now I have to heal that through the emotions, not through what I eat, not with the medication, but actually my nerve system and how I react to things and how I all these things. Like it's so crazy. And yeah.
It's great. It's great that you found yourself in nature because, nature is the healer. Nature is where it absorbs energy that does not serve us. So where Emma is right now and how she's living is a healthy, conscious choice for her body and her soul. And I commend you on showing up for yourself like that. I wanted to touch on what I was saying with your mom real quick as well, is that, your mom never had the education required to be a mother. I, I I brought that up in that manner before to kind of show people, like, parents don't always have it figured out, and we don't know what their story was, or it's best to try and learn what their story was so that we can understand where they come from. And then when we see later in life why they never showed up for us, we can see that no one taught them how to be a mother, or no one showed up for them. And then that's a way to process. It's a way to let go, is when we understand something from another individual's perspective, because a lot of people get caught up in that blame and victim mentality, right? And they store that and they carry it because we don't know how to see it, a controlling mother. We don't know what to do with this in our life. We think
Hmm.
it's, a blame and victim mentality, when really it's something more than that. And I just share about that so that people within their own experiences can look at it for what it is and try and learn about the other individual's story to process that. That's really fantastic. I
Yeah, I just want to add something to this because I actually had a conversation with my mom like 2 days ago, and we talked about trauma and not being seen. And she told me her story about her childhood.
Oh,
And then I was like, wow, now I see you, now I understand. Like she said, I wish I could be there for you, but no one been there for me too, and I don't know how to do this.
wow.
Never taught me. Yeah. So it's so, so important to sit down and talk about your traumas or what you've been through with your own parents.
Yeah,
And sometimes maybe they will not be open to do that,
yeah.
but give them space and just tell them how you feel. It really, really helped me in my healing story to really talk with them and tell me how I am affected right now being adult, what I was carrying from them. And then they can share their story. And then I feel this like clearing of the energy because now I see them in different colors. I can feel them, I can understand them. As you say, not having this like blaming and victim mentality. Now we can see each other as a reflection, that it wasn't their fault and it's not my fault. We are just human beings learning from our own experience. Yeah.
Wow, that's incredible. Like you were like you're this stage in your journey, and 2 days ago she opens up about the trauma that she experienced in her life. So man, I'm so happy you said that because people want to sometimes have it all figured out right away. And they're very
Mm,
impatient to get answers for things that are out of their control. And patience is definitely something that you will cultivate along this journey of awareness and healing, like you say, like a part of your healing story. Like even for myself, like I'm 4 years clean off the drugs, but every day is a lesson to me. I am always inside. I'm inside of myself, but what I emulate on the inside is what I translate on the outside. So I'm internal, but I'm external because how I'm feeling is how I show up for others. And I'm always in tune with, how where my thoughts are and the love
mm,
language that I use for myself so that I can see that in the world as well because that is where we're creating our reality. But when we hold on to things that are out of our control, like blame and victim mentality, it puts us in those states. You really lose that connection to self because somebody else has your
mm,
power. And that is taken from us at a young age, or we've given that power away at a young age. But that doesn't mean that you can't get it back at any
mm.
stage. I mean, Emma just had this conversation 2 days ago. So that
Yeah.
is it's incredible.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah. And I just wanted to say that, like, I gave my power away very, very young age. I felt powerless since I was, yeah, like you say, 4 years, 5, 6. I felt that someone is kind of controlling me, but not controlling me. Like I didn't felt myself. I always follow what everyone was following, like, oh, these girls are wearing this clothes, so I'm gonna buy something like that. I never had my own that like I wanna be like this or I wanna be like that. I'm just gonna be like, hmm, what education I should do? Oh, maybe this one is good, so I'm gonna choose this. But
Right.
I never really follow that intuition, that voice that I had in me that told me you should follow this or you should follow that because it was so scary. It was so scary to even think about those dreams and desires that I had inside of me, until one day I woke up and I said, I'm gonna change my life completely. I don't know what happened. Did I dream something? But I woke up one day and I said, from now on, I'm not gonna drink anymore. From now on, I'm gonna start meditating and doing yoga. And I did it, and I just kept going. And sometimes I would you know, fall, and then I need to get up and find my practice again. But I kept going until I am here in this point, where I feel good, I eat good, I take care of myself, I take care of others, and yeah, I'm literally feeling happy finally because I had a lot of angry issues that I want to really address, that I was angry, really crazy kid. or teenager, you know. I would fight on the streets. I would make fights with people with like literally nothing happen, you know. People would just pass by. I would say like, "Do you want to fight?" And they would like, "No." And I'm like, "Yes, you want to fight," you know. Like, yeah, like I'm crazy. Like I'm like I wanted to say that you can get out of that. Like
Yeah.
I was scared of my own shadows because it was people were scared of me. They said I don't want to be friends with this girl because she's crazy. And I was crazy, you know? I was doing boxing and that helped me to release my anger, but then I will put that on other people. And this is not a really good way of dealing your emotions, you know. No one should be your punching bag, you know. And I want to say sorry for all my partners who had to deal with that because they were my punching bags, you know, with the words, with the actions and everything. And it took me so much unlearning and so much forgiveness for myself and inviting more love for myself to be who I am right now, you know, to be more calm and more present because that time was really, really difficult. And handling all those emotions without any help, it was really, really tough. Yeah. So you can be this crazy person that you think, oh, I'm never gonna reach to be this like Zen or whatever. No, it's possible. It's completely possible if you just put yourself that I want to go that way, you know? Like it's a choice, and if you take the choice, you can reach anything you want in your life. Yeah.
Well, and like, sorry, I laughed there before because
It's
I'm
okay.
looking at Emma and I'm like, this. I could just picture this crazy young girl. Like, you want to fight? You want to fight? Yeah, you want to fight because I want to fight. You know what I mean? I can't even see you because of where you've come from. You know, that was that dense, dark energy that you were carrying, and now I just see this light being. You know, and you've
Mm,
alchemized a life. And something you were touching on before with, following trends and following individuals is and people being afraid to be themselves and to wear clothing they want to wear and say things they want to say. It's because they're afraid to be accepted, not be accepted,
mm-hmm.
sorry.
Yeah.
Everyone wants to be accepted, but it's when we accept ourselves that everything changes because we just take a chance on ourselves and we become the individual that we want to become and we allow ourselves to fall down and learn and fall down and learn. And I mean, there's nothing wrong with that, but that is scary to do that on your own. And like you say, processing the emotions without any help is not easy, but that first step is making a choice. Like you woke up that
Mm-hmm.
day, and that happened to me in the jail cell when I decided to change my life as well. For me, I surrendered my love. That's what happened in that moment. And I surrendered my love to Jesus. Those were the words that I said. And then I became a student of love. That's the only way I really know how to describe it. And as a student of love, you're allowed to make mistakes. It's the first thing you learn is that you're allowed to make mistakes, but you're also going to question everything. And you're going to
Mm-hmm.
question who you are. You're going to question the people around you. You're going to question the things you say, and you're going to question the things they say because you have got to figure out what you stand for. And figuring out what you stand for is done by trying new things and
Yeah.
having new experiences. And you let everything go and just packed your bags and left, hey?
Yeah. And oh, it's a really tough actually thing to do, letting go. Like when I'm trying to look back now, when I took that decision that, for example, I don't want to party anymore, I don't want to drink anymore, but all my friends, they were like that, you know, and I had to choose, do I want to keep going like everyone, or do I want to choose the lonely path, you know? And it's been very lonely for a couple of years until I changed my energy, I changed my vibration, and I started to attract more loving people, more kind people, more good people to themselves, you know. And this letting go, it's really, really painful thing to do because you basically have to, yeah, just say like, okay, I'm gonna lose everything, and I don't know what is going to happen after. But if you do that, like the magic is there. Like I can tell you, the magic is there, and it's so beautiful. It's so beautiful. It's like opening this door to unknown, and you're like, oh, maybe it's gonna be really bad. But what if it's going to be so beautiful and so loving and so magical? What is, like so you just have to take that leap and just do it
Yeah.
because yeah, no one else will gonna do it for you, and you gonna die with thinking like, what if I open that door?
And the beautiful thing behind that door is the discovery of yourself. Like that's the door that you're opening. So gosh, man, to just put faith in yourself and believe in yourself, that's what's going to allow you to walk through the door. You have no idea what you're going to face along the way. The journey is going to be difficult, but the difficulties are so beautiful. Just like Emma said, I mean, she's the rains are coming or whatever obstacle they're facing in life, they do it together, and there's no emotional imbalance that pulls them back into this dark state where they're frustrated. There's the frustration is gone, like, because frustration is just something that is you're trying to control, typically is a reaction of something that's out of your control is when you get frustrated. But when we're in control of ourselves and we can see that power back within ourselves, I mean, the journey becomes really beautiful even in its most difficult aspects. So I appreciate you for sharing that today. I mean, this was incredible, really. I mean, that and it is. I think it's a beautiful way to talk about that when people take a chance on themselves, because the world is becoming very interesting in its density. There's a lot of things being taken away from people, such as materialism, and people have attached to
Yeah.
this idea as materialism being the thing that they've worked for their whole life. So that's their identity. That's where their success lies, is within the
Yeah.
materialism. And we are seeing, financial systems work against the people. So finance is something that can cause a lot of stress and fear and anxiety in an individual's life. But the relinquishment of the materialism will actually allow you to create a better relationship with finance that you incur, and you can put that finance into yourself. And that's kind of where it belongs. And when you do that, you look at a journey like Emma's, or you look at a journey like mine, like the materialism is just a distraction. Like once you've put the value and the worth back into you, like you will see that you have enough money to do that. And that fear and that anxiety to take a chance on yourself, to believe in yourself, to walk through a door where you don't know the answers, it's actually going to be okay from a financial standpoint, because that's something a lot of people fear. But you've just got to let go of the materialism and identity that doesn't serve you anymore to become this individual that you want to become. So am I
Yeah. Yeah, this is a big topic actually. Um, like it's been really tough journey for me too, to kind of just let go of that money mentality, that like choosing this lifestyle. You have to think like, oh, how I'm gonna make money, right? But you have to trust that the divine universe will gonna provide you, it's gonna be okay. There is opportunities, possibilities. You're such a creative being. There is always money around you
yeah.
if you are just allowing yourself to be that magnet. And most of us, we are in this fear mode, that we think that the only way of making money is to go and work for someone. But what if we can be our own boss? What if I can have my own schedule, and maybe I can work some days more hours and some days less, but really doing what I love to do? And I am still struggling with this part, but it's getting better and better every day. Just like waking up in the morning and saying like, I'm trusting the universe. And sometimes you get this call or the message or the email and saying like, come, can you do this for me? Or come, can you host event for me? And it comes in this really unexpected ways, but it always does. Like since we left Denmark, we left safety, we left our jobs, we still have money, we still have food, we still have where to live, you know? And yes, maybe we are not millionaires, you know, but the abundance of nature, the abundance of meeting people, that is the real abundance. And actually, we don't need much money. We don't need much money to live, because when you live in the city, you spend so much money on such unnecessary things, you know, you spend for uh, clothes and food and this and that. But living simple with the nature, we grow our own food, you know, we go and pick up cherries this morning and eating our own cherries. We don't have to pay for it, you know. Um, so it's really like the way you think about money and the way you spend your money, because living is actually really cheap. It doesn't require much. It's just how you approach your life and what do you actually need. And people think that they need so many things. You know, I need this new TV, a new phone, and this and this. But actually, what we need deep connection with the nature.
Yeah.
And if we find that, we realize that we are so abundant, and I have everything what I need is here and now. You know, I have healthy body, I have a little food, I have some running water, and that's beautiful. But in order to see that, you have to go to adventure. You have to really find that, you know, because when you live in the city or anywhere like else that you have all this comfort, you know, I would say it's really comfort, you know,
Mhm.
but do we really need that? You know, like if you look back in our ancestors, how they lived, you know, they all lived from the land. They would all make everything by hands and cooked, baked in the home. You know, they would not go to the restaurant, you know, to buy some sushi or pizza or whatever. They would bake at home and they would eat dinner together, not watching TV, you know, and eating, you know. So it's like such a simple thing has to be brought back to us and shared, that life it can be so simple with so little money included, and it's about a community where you live with and with what is surrounding you, because there is so much abundance that you don't have to pay for. Like for example, we have such a beautiful neighbors that they just come and bring us vegetables and olive oil, and then we give fruits, and another neighbor will bring a cake, you know, and it's always this like barter exchange happening. So you're never gonna be hungry, you know, like,
Yeah.
and we are so scared of that. We are so scared that we're gonna end up in the street. But maybe that's what we need. Maybe we all need to end up in the street to remember that we can ask for help, remember that we can make these decisions and that we have support from each other, you know, and we can do this together, not just only like as individuals, you know. Um, yeah, and that's what I'm trying to do with my partner, you know, to live simply, but think that we are abundant from the universe, from the nature, not how much money we have in our bank account. Because one day everything is gonna go to hell. And what you gonna do with all that money that you save
Yeah.
up, you know?
Yeah.
It's not gonna help you. It's not gonna help you if the end of the world will come. It's gonna help you if you have knowledge how to make garden. It's gonna help you if you know how to maintain your emotions. It's gonna help you if you have a beautiful community to live with, you know. And these are really valuable things to create right now, because yeah, I feel like we are wasting so much time working for something that, yeah, doesn't make a big change in the world. Yeah.
I agree. I want to touch on what you said. Like, you know, people look up to celebrities and these ideas of people that have success or beauty when the things that Emma and her partner are doing are beyond priceless, because you are an example of a high vibrational frequency of standing for what you believe in and injecting that back in the world. So where society might look at them and say, "Oh, they have nothing, they trade, they have no money, they have no purpose." It's like their purpose is beyond that of society's conception. Because
Mm.
when you meet people like Emma and her partner, you understand that there's something more within these individuals that isn't ones and zeros in a bank account. It doesn't come with a refrigerator full of food. They're one with what's around them, what's above them, and what's below them. And I mean, to be in tune with that, that's the human nature. That is the organic essence of who we are. Mental health and addiction are found in 80% of homes today. 80%
Mm.
of homes are experiencing mental health or addiction. Now, that's not just drugs, alcohol, gambling, nicotine. This is sugar, caffeine, social media, video games,
Yeah.
food. Like this is found right across the globe. And it's found right
Mm.
across the globe because humans that are not in tune with their emotions and haven't processed or learned how to process emotions will reach for things external from them to distract from that feeling. And in some cases, it might be fighting, it might be anger, it might be these imbalances because we do not know how to give attention to ourselves. We do not have the education and the tools for this. But the individuals that have decided to go on a journey within and generational trauma and say, no, this ends with me. I'm going to become a new human. This is priceless. And like Emma said, everybody has the opportunity to step into this power. Like this is not a power that's to be taken away from us, but we people please and we hide and we pretend that everything's okay. So when we do not speak our truth and we do not stand for what we believe in, and I like to reference, as we're babies, we learn to walk, we fall, we get back up again, we fall, we get back up again. Even with talking, we stumble until we get the words right. But what are you doing with these words? And what are you doing with this ability to walk if you're not standing for what you believe in and speaking your truth? Because that's who you are. That's what you have. Now, if somebody's taken that away from you, step back into that power, make
Mm.
mistakes, fall down, see a community as something that holds a power within itself. Because just like Emma and I are two individuals, we've come together. We've never even met each other, but the universe has put us on a path because our vibrational frequencies are that of the same tune. So you will attract individuals that are vibrating at the same intensity of love that you are, because that's what the vibrational frequency that Emma and I and others emit is, a love for self. That does not mean we have it all figured out. It just means that we've put enough value into ourselves to take in clean food, to take in clean water, to put ourselves in spaces that are free from the energy that cities create. We take time for ourselves, meditation practice, yoga practice, whatever you feel you're called to find self-love and self-care, you will be attracted to other individuals as well. And I just wanted to say, when you do step into this power and you do relinquish this fear, that is the thing that you let go of. If you have, say, $10,000 or $5,000 or $1,000 in your bank account, and you're going to take a chance on yourself, remove fear from your mentality, and the universe will align you with whatever you need. And do not be afraid to call into abundance into your life.
Mm.
Ask the universe for whatever it is that you need to be provided for. Now, the universe is definitely well versed in ego because ego is a different
Mm.
vibrational frequency. So if you're trying to call in something that is going to be debilitating for you or those around you, it understands that. It knows that. So to ask for the things that you're ready for in this moment of your life, do that. But do that and remove all fear blocks from you and that thing that you desire, and the universe will present it. And that's people like Emma. This is what they're emulating. This is what they do. This is talking about going back to the way things were. It's an absolute. I mean, look at where current society is. People have never been more sad and afraid and
Mm.
divided and disconnected from themselves. So it's like, let's just take a look at where society is taking us. If we don't take a step back within our own lives to walk away from this thing that is being built to hold us or rob us of our power, I mean, then you're just going to continue following that. And once you take a step back and you see where it's headed, it's like, do you really want to be going there?
Mm. Yeah, definitely. Yeah. And I feel like that like trusting that everything is gonna work out is the main key. Like if you're not gonna trust, then it might not gonna work out. And also patience. Everything comes with patience and the right divine timing.
Yeah.
I'm really learning that every single day because we are so impatient. We want to be there. We want to figure this out right now, you know. I want this trauma be gone from my body. I want this pain be, yeah, disappear, you know. But it requires so much patience. And if we master that, we can live such a beautiful life. At least that's what I believe in, that patience is the key for everything, and give yourself that timing, you know, to if you want to have that change in your life, give the space for it to come, you know. Don't think that you have to know how to meditate, do yoga or everything, you know. Just take one step, you know. Try 5 minutes guided meditation, one time a day, maybe twice a week, you know. Start slowly, because if you put yourself fully into it, people get scared. People get like, wow, this is too much, you know, I cannot take in, because there is so much opening happening, you know, and then we get scared of our own shadows. So I think like giving space and giving timing for things to unfold, you know, in their own time, it's really, really important, because you cannot rush your healing.
Yeah.
There is time for everything, and you're gonna be there. If you're gonna believe it, you're gonna be there wherever you want to be or whoever you want to be. And I can see that by myself, that I had this idea that I want to be this, you know, I want to be only this one thing in life, and I'm gonna be happy, you know. And then I reached that. I reached that, and I'm like, oh, where is this happiness now, you know? Where is my happiness?
Yeah.
And I needed to let go. I needed to let go and be like, okay, actually, there is something else coming through me. I want to be this now, and next week I want to be this. So just really allowing yourself to move in this um, formless shapes, you know, and explore yourself. Like maybe one week you want to sing, another week you want to dance, and then act, and this and that, you know. Try all of it. And then you really know who you truly are. Because if you choose just one path, it's just like one path. But if you choose the whirly road, you're gonna see so many beautiful mountains and trees and animals and, you know,
Yeah.
different colors of yourself. And I think this is really important, because my goal was to become a yoga teacher. But when I let go of that, so many different doors opened, where led me to work with Mama Cacao, you know, and I'm making sacred ceremonies, and it opened me to channel the energies from cosmos, and you know, doing the intuitive singing and dancing and making ecstatic dance with my partner. Like, wow, I never seen myself like that. Like, I never even imagined myself like that. And I can see that if each day when I wake up, something more is coming, you know. So whatever desire you have, just go for it. If you feel like, oh, I would like to try painting, go, you know, because you never know where that journey will gonna lead you to, you know. And I think it's just so beautiful to be an artist, or be like this, having this open canvas and kind of just, yeah, putting all the colors or all together, and you don't know what's going to happen, but in the end it's this beautiful painting, you know. So yeah, just be open canvas for life. Yeah.
I love that. Yeah, I love that. I say the same thing. I mean, what you're painting is your masterpiece. And with paintings, we make mistakes all the time. That's the beauty of art. But when it's you, it's even more beautiful because it's your own art piece. So, how many colors do you have on the canvas? How many things have you tried? How much do you know about yourself? Those are so important. Things like Netflix and television, movies, these things just rob you of an
Mm,
ability to get to know who you are if you're consuming them at a unnatural or inorganic rate. I mean, I'm all for art, like, because, television or movies are an art in a sense, not these days so much anymore. They're just
yeah.
horrible. But, some people watch these kind of things. So it's important to see art in those kind of things. But like, if you're not breaking free from those things that are holding you back to put that into yourself, I agree with you fully. And people struggle with meditation and yoga and breath work because they put so much expectation on it. They put so much pressure on
Mm,
themselves to be like the teacher or be in a place where the other individuals are around them are at, when really in reality yoga, meditation and breath work is teaching you about the present moment. It's only there to teach you about the awareness of where your mind is at. If your mind is in tune with your breath and your breath is in tune with your body, then all of it works beautiful together. But until you get to that point, like, you're gonna look like a mess, and that's totally fine because that's the journey, is to connect to those things. Man, I fall in and out of my practice with that all the time, but I get back up and I get back on because I am better when I'm doing breath work, meditation, and yoga. I'm better. I'm more loose. I'm more clear. I'm more centered. I have moments in time for myself, and that's what yoga,
mm,
breath work, and meditation is for. It's time for yourself. So don't worry about any of the other stuff that comes with it. Even if you look like the worst yoga or breath work individual because you don't have the breath capacity to do it, that's fine because you showed up for yourself. And that's where the real value lies, is in that practice. That is the practice that teaches you about the present moment. And like Emma says, like, when you show up to try new things and you're present for the moment, you learn about what avenues you're going to enjoy and which color you're going to throw on the canvas. And when you step outside, you're all these different colors, and that is the most beautiful thing to see in a human being. It's like, wow, you've been through a lot. And even stories like, Emma and mine, like 23-year drug addiction, like, some people will look at that and go, wow, like, how can you even talk about that like that? It's like, are you kidding
mm,
me? Look at how many colors are on me. You know how much crap I've been through in my life? Like, I have tried a lot of things. I have been in a lot of situations. Now, society puts labels on things, and then the label comes with an ideology. But me, I just was in school. It was earth school, as we all are. And it's for you to learn the lesson of whatever you're faced with. And typically it's yourself. So once you learn the lesson of yourself, which is to tap back into love, you've learned a lesson and you get ready for a new one and you're able to share that education. And that's what we did here today. I'm super grateful for
mm,
you, Emma. Like,
mm.
I just thank you so much for opening up and coming on. And Emma, she hasn't shared this, and she would. Yeah, I asked her if she would be open to share it, and we had a wonderful conversation a couple days ago. So I just want you to know how much I appreciate you for this, because the way you talk about things and who you are, the way you carry yourself is really wonderful. I think a lot of people can learn from you. So
Mm.
that's really
Thank you.
beautiful. If people want to get in touch with you, what's the YouTube channel?
Sorry.
No, 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 no. Do your thing, man. Do
Yeah,
your thing.
it's all good. Thank you.
That's totally cool. I actually love that just happened. Was the neighbor just there?
Um, no, it's actually the owner's mom, and she just want to make sure if we are good and everything is all right. So yeah, because tomorrow we are flying to Denmark. So yeah, she just want to make sure that we are good, which is so cute.
Human connection. I absolutely love it.
Yeah.
It's the most beautiful thing. I love that. How do people find you? YouTube, what's the YouTube channel? Where can people connect with you if they have questions, are they able to reach out?
Yeah, so we have a YouTube channel that is called Magic Within. and also Instagram and Facebook page that calls Magic Within. And then I have my private one that maybe I can share it with you, and you can just put in the yeah, in the link below,
Okay.
because it's a little bit more tough to to say it.
Yeah, no problem.
Yeah.
Okay, so I will put all of Emma's links in the bottom. Please, if you are on a journey of self-discovery and you are trying to, you're questioning things, reach out to individuals like us. I have more podcast episodes with guests that share about their stories as well. So there should be things in there that you can connect with along your journey, because that's all I care about is personal growth and human evolution into love, so we can end this way of life and move back into this beautiful thing called love. So Emma, thank you so much for being here. I appreciate you so much.
Thank you. Oh, thank you.